Good afternoon, Neil here with Simpler Trading's Voodoo Mastery end of week, end of day, end of week market wrap up and review. See what this means for going forward. Of the last uptick starting a couple of weeks ago from the yearly pivot, the market was moving higher into the high of this move, which was pretty important for a few reasons. And here we go. You can see here, this is a new indicator developed by David Starr at Simpler Trading. It's something that just about to roll out only at Simpler Trading. And this thing has been pretty remarkable. You can see the last time that it was oversold down here was the low at the bottom in April. Squeeze that in for you so you can see it. This was the low in April. And we got into overbought here one time where it started to come in again, and overbought here a second time, and here we come down this week. He also wrote this indicator, which is the ready, aim, fire, and you can see at the very beginning of the week this thing fired short as well. And that's not even all. Lastly, this is another of David's proprietary indicators that you can only get at Simpler. And these are the voodoo lines, and you can see the red line there. That's what we call a voodoo fire line, and that is the most important of the voodoo lines, and that was pretty much the high of the move there from end of last week, beginning of this week as well. So we look at the Stock Traders Almanac also, and it was bearish. It kind of was looking a little bit for some bearish potential this week, as is historically the case. But that's not the case next week, and so let's look at that. It's actually flips bullish, historically flips bullish next week. Next week's, of course, a short week with holiday Monday, and so we'll have Tuesday through Friday trade next week. All right, so going back to the chart here, the last uptick, you can see, remember we were oversold, or overbought on the big picture oscillator with a ready, aim, fire, sell at the voodoo fire line that I just showed you. All three of those are David Starr's indicators, proprietary and found at Simpler Trading. And the Stock Traders Almanac had us to look historically. The week leading into Memorial Day is actually bearish, but the week after is, next week is actually bullish. So what did happen? Well, everything that I did the first couple of days this week was bearish, bearish, bearish. I mean, just short, short, short. Everything we were doing was short. And it sells down pretty good, but look where it comes to. It comes right down to perfectly, really pretty incredible. It sells down to a 618 retrace of that last uptick at the 20-period exponential moving average, and bounces pretty decisively here from the low today, which was that 618 retrace. And as I'm with you right now, also notice this, of the break, it has recovered now a full 618, and it's just midday, Friday. In theory, it could continue yet still even higher, but it's a full 618 retrace of the earlier part of the week break. So that gives me this expectation for next week, and that would be trigger by Tuesday, trigger breach of today's high, triggers long, and I'll go targets 59.50, which is the year open, and 60.50 up here, which will be the 1272 extension of the break. Pretty simple. Unless, of course, wrong, and it continues to break. Well, then I doubt it would actually trigger the breach of today's high. We call that beat the high of the low bar. And it remains a little bit soft. It doesn't look like that, but in that case, it remains a little bit soft. It comes down here, and what it would do next is fill this gap and hit the next fib level down here at 5,700. So as it stands right now, this is an excess low with a firm finish, breach the top, and then up she goes. So that's what we're looking for. Hat tip David Starr on these absolutely fantastic indicators. I mean, just don't know how we could do much better. So we'll keep it going. If you want, come visit us in the Simpler Trading. We're in the Voodoo Mastery, hence the Voodoo lines indicator that I was just showing you here as well. And we will do it all over again next week. So see you there, hopefully. And until then, have a good weekend, good trading.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me